Hi, I'm Lee Feigenbaum. I'm one of the founders of Cambridge Semantics. We're honored to be chosen as a finalist for this year's CODiE Awards in the Business Intelligence and Analytics Software category, and I wanted to take just a few minutes in this video to introduce you to the Anzo Pharma Competitive Intelligence Solutions. At Cambridge Semantics, we provide software called Anzo, which lets us build what we describe as unified information access solutions. These are solutions to particular business problems that are designed to be extremely flexible, provide self-service capabilities for end users, and be driven by any type of information, whether it's structured or unstructured, whether it's inside your organization, publicly available, or from some partner or other third party. Our competitive intelligence solutions, especially in the pharma industry, are an example of this sort of unified information access solutions. And the goal behind the CI solutions is to provide an up-to-date and highly personalized view of the entire industry, in this case, of the entire pharmaceutical industry. This sort of picture is a conceptual view into the pharmaceutical landscape, and you can see that it ranges from the R&D side of the pharma industry, where you're talking about drugs and the proteins that they target and the patents that protect them, through to the clinical trial part of the organization, where we talk about trials and the investigators and the sites and the countries and the phases, and then all the way on to the commercial end, where we're dealing with sales and marketing concepts like doctors who are prescribing drugs and key opinion leaders and conferences and market perception and sales figures. One of the real challenges in trying to apply traditional business intelligence software to such a broad and ever-changing landscape is you can't really sit down and incorporate all of this very diverse types of information into a single technology solution. And so what people tend to do is they pick a subset of this information and they build a solution, and that's it. But the solutions tend to be brittle. They don't change as requirements change. They only serve the needs of one particular type of stakeholder, and they're limited in the information they can draw on. The idea behind what we do with Anzo is we provide a highly tailored, highly customizable solution that lets our customers choose which parts of this whole industry landscape is important to them and which sources of information do they trust most, wherever they may be, and then they can use Anzo and use our very flexible tools to bring that information together in an operational solution that can provide alerts and dashboards and searching and filtering to help stakeholders know what they need to know about the industry. And our customers are using this in lots of different ways. They use this to automatically identify potential drug licensing and partnering opportunities. They use this to help prepare for biopartnering meetings. They use this to help do strategic new product planning. They use this to do sales forecasting and projecting based on competitors' actions. So it has very diverse applications within the industry. So without further ado, let's take a look at the solution. Most of the end users who are consuming information from our Pharma CI solution do it via our easy-to-use web dashboards. These dashboards have all the standard features you would expect from modern dashboardy tools. So they have searches and filters and tables and charts and all sorts of visualizations, with the key thing being that this isn't just going against a single database. This is going against many different databases. This is taking information from unstructured sources like documents and emails and news articles. It's taking information from spreadsheets. It's taking information from web services APIs and third-party content providers, but it's all brought together into a unified dashboard. So you can have views like this one, which is showing of the top 20 pharma companies, what percentage of their drugs in development are in research versus clinical trials versus launched on the market. So you might see, for example, in this example, that Amgen has nearly half of their drugs still in the preclinical development phases. Or you might be able just to see a simple breakdown of drugs by indication, by the disease that they're indicated for. Or you can have other visualizations that draw on completely different sources of information, like this one, which is a timeline of upcoming regulatory events. And one of the key things about this sort of unified information approach to competitive intelligence is that it saves you from having to go to a dozen, 24, 30, 40, 50 different sources, logging into different websites, different enterprise applications to pull together a complete picture of a company or a drug or a product of interest. In this case, we're looking at we drilled into information about a Merck drug that's in development for osteoporosis. And on this same screen, we're seeing information that's coming from subscription pipeline databases that are offered by content vendors like a Thomson Reuters or an ADIS. We're also seeing information that's pulled from internal pipeline databases. And we're also seeing information that our Anzo tools have pulled directly from the Merck website itself or from other pharma companies' websites. We switch to another tab and we see news articles about this drug that come from another part of the Anzo software suite that will monitor news on the web, and I link that news up to the concepts and the entities that it's talking about, in this case, this particular drug. If we go to another tab, we can see information that we've pulled from XML that's available on the public clinicaltrials.gov website. And yet another tab includes regulatory information that comes from BioMedTracker, which is another third-party web service-based source of information. So all of this information has been aggregated into one place, and there's no need to manually visit many different sites. But the point of unified information goes beyond aggregating information into one place. It really shines when you start to do analytics and searching that requires having not only brought together information from one place, but actually integrated it so that you make explicit the relationship between information from different sources. So as one example, we can use Anzo CI to search for protein recombinant drugs that have US revenues over $100 million last year. To do this requires searching across information from both the Thomson Reuters pipeline database and also from the BioMedTracker site. So doing this in one place with just a few clicks in Anzo replaces having to go do an export from one website, go to a second website and do another export, and then figure out some way to join that data together using Excel or some other tool like that. And this is orders of magnitude quicker and easier. Here's another example, a simple visualization that's showing what drug technologies tend to have the largest trial enrollments. And this is on a single chart plotting information that comes from these pipeline databases against information that comes from clinicaltrials.gov. Or to take another example, we can ask what kinds of drugs are seeing an increasing numbers of trials. We can see that since 2008, most drug technologies have been on the decline in terms of the number of trials that have started, except for the red one, which is highlighted, which is biologic therapeutics. And this has been an increasingly hot area of interest in drug development, and we can see that played out here by combining information from the drug companies' websites with information from clinicaltrials.gov. Anzo is backed by semantic technologies, which means everything happens at the conceptual level. And we're going beyond sort of Google-style keyword search to really have smart data, which gives us smart searching. So here's a simple example of that, is that we've brought into the Anzo competitive intelligence solution some PowerPoint or PDF documents from a conference that Roche held last year. And we've indexed that semantically. And what that means that we can do is we can start to do conceptual semantic search. So in this particular case, we search for mentions of the generic drug name erlotinib. And the tool was smart enough to find a mention of Tarceva, which is a brand name of this particular compound. Anzo supports any sort of thesaurus or dictionary or taxonomy of information and uses it to make it as easy as possible for stakeholders to find the information they want, regardless of whether or not they know the exact key phrase they want to search for. While presenting this unified view of information across many different sources, Anzo still maintains the lineage of data so that folks can know where information comes from and what to trust in cases of conflicting information. So in this particular case, we're looking at a phase 2 drug that's being developed by GlaxoSmithKline. And if we want to know where the information about this drug comes from, we can click on the little eye icon. And what we're told is that most of the information is coming from this Thomson Reuters content vendor database, Cortellis. But a few of the pieces of information, in particular one of the active indications and the mechanism of action for this drug, it has been pulled directly from GSK's website. Finally, unlike most business intelligence tools, Anzo is not just a reporting and one-way dashboard tool. Instead, it's an interactive tool. It can be used for creating new information and curating existing information. right from within the same dashboard tool. So here we have an example of editing information about the Merck osteoporosis drug that we looked at before. And you can do that right from within the web dashboard tool. Or you can also do that from interactive Excel dashboards. So another one of our tools is a bidirectional two-way plugin for Excel. You type in the name of a drug, the tool automatically fills in all the information about it, and this is live data that you can edit if you have permission to do so. And finally, Anzo isn't a silo for data. It provides many different ways to get at data and to get data out. So here's a custom funnel visualization to show how drugs are flowing through a company's pipeline. But Anzo can also be used to pull data into popular visualization and analytic tools like Spotfire or Tableau or Click. So thanks very much for taking a few minutes to take a look at Anzo. It's been we very much enjoyed going through the CODiE Awards process. This is the first year we've participated, and if you found Anzo interesting, we hope you'll consider voting for it for the award in the business intelligence category. And if you'd like to learn more, please don't hesitate to drop me a note. Thanks very much.